Hello and welcome to Turning Point Tactics, the competitive Kill Team 40k podcast and YouTube channel, focused on giving you the strategies and tactics to seize initiative every turning point. I'm your host Ryan, and I'm here to give you the tips and tricks to elevate every part of your Kill Team experience. If you enjoy this content and you want more, you can join our Patreon for as little as £3 a month. We'll get access to our Discord, patron priority questions, early access to videos including Kill Team bat reps, faction guides, and much more. If that's not for you, you can support just by hitting like, subscribe, and sharing these videos amongst the community of Kill Team enthusiasts local to you. Finally, if you're looking to buy some new miniatures or paints, you can buy them through Element Games, getting a 15% discount, and if you use our affiliate link below, you'll support the show as well. With all that said, let's get into it. And this is like one of the things that, I think we should go into it now, Conor, because I think there's a massive emphasis on this, which is now is actually the best time to play Kill Team. And that's probably going to sound odd because a lot of people are hearing from from the community about how the meta's broken, how, it's not enjoyable in the competitive scene because you can't win, etc., etc. And I just think that we're maybe forgetting the key reason why we all get together to throw dice anyway. And I will say that as content creators, I think we have to be quite responsible as to what we say and how we say it, because we are some of the loudest voices in the community, right? So if, we're amazingly up to 1,000 subscribers, and people are listening to us, and they're all pretty much in our niche, the competitive community of Kill Team, right? And if we say something like, if we say that the Kill Team community is not worth playing in at the moment because it's broken, that's going to put people off. And I've heard quite a lot of anecdotal stories of people saying that they're going to take a break from the game because they don't want to play into the current meta. And I just feel like it's a bit of a shame, really, because I think we're missing a little bit of what's exciting. So I sort of wanted to talk a little bit at the start about why I think actually now is the best time to play. So firstly, it's the TOs, right? So your TOs have been planning these events for months ahead, right? And they put the heart and soul into these things, and they really do try to make it so you have as much fun as possible. But it's only really achievable through ticket sales. So if people don't buy tickets because they don't want to turn up, then suddenly these events could disappear. And I'm worried that we're losing track of that as well. So it's one of those things where yes, there might be a Chaos Cult player that turns up. There might be one or two, there might be three, whatever. But if 60 of you turn to the event, then the chance of you playing more than one Chaos Cult game is like ridiculously low. And so you're probably only going to meet them in the later rounds, and you probably only play them once. So, I've gone to 2 events. I've played against Chaos Cults twice. But I managed to win one of them, right? And I'll tell you what, that is such a rewarding experience when you manage to just eke that win against the faction that you're not really supposed to. And in our game against Sirkan, where at one point in it, I was like, if I just win this roll, then I've done it. It's David versus Goliath, and I toppled the beast, and that is really fun, I think. And although you're going into it on the back foot, and that the odds are stacked against you, that can still be a lot of fun in that. So I think that's a reason to do it, but also I think you can now just take a slightly different take on it. And I'm saying to people, just try experimenting. Go for a bit of variety. I've been playing Exaction Squad, a team that I probably wouldn't be playing too much of, if I was trying to be a diehard win at all costs kind of player. But they're good fun, and I'm learning more about the game. I'm learning about their matchups. I'm learning to respect the subductors. I think there's actually quite a few matchups now where I'm taking them, whereas before I was, pretty hard over saying that I wouldn't take them. I'm playing a bit more security tac ops, which is pretty wild. So there's all these little things where you can learn these new abilities, learn these new things, you experiment, you can have fun. You can bring new players in and you can teach them, because I've been going to some various new areas locally, and there's a local club near me I went to the other day and hosted a Kill Team teaching night. So hopefully we'll get 4 more players, 5 more players out of that, and then maybe they'll turn up to the next tournament, and you can grow the community, right? And I'll say this all the time about Sanctuary. I think it's my personal competition to Warp Fire Gaming in the US with Ben Battle Brothers Tabletop, because I know he has a cult obsession with Warp Fire Gaming, but it's my equivalent, because you turn up and it's just such a good crowd of people. And you just enjoy it, right? And they're winning sportsmanship awards, they're winning painting awards, they're winning, the community votes and all this sort of stuff. And I think that's almost more important than winning the tournament overall. And I think, we're hoping to host a tournament on the 25th and 26th of November this year. It's going to be in London. And I think for me, the prize that everyone should really be trying to get above everything else is the most sportsmanship award, right? Like that's saying to you that you can place wherever you want to place in the tournament. But if someone says, I really enjoyed playing with you and I want to play with you again, that to me seems to be far more valuable than anything else, right? So that's better than first or second place. So I think that's why now is the best time to play Kill Team. It's very easy for us to, as a community, to focus on the negatives, and I get it, I really do. But start finding those counters to it. Start, having fun and teach new players the game, bring more people in, and just try and do something a bit different. I think. Any thoughts on that, Connor?
No, I think that's a great point and really nicely put. And I think also, like, are you going in there to win? I mean, we all are to an extent, but you lose the first game. Are you going home afterwards? No, you go in there because you're going to have a fun game and you've got 3 more games and you have a blast. And you've just played 2 tournaments. You didn't win the tournaments, but you've had a blast. So maybe just reflect on that. Like, it's winning is a part of it, but you can still go and really enjoy your weekend and have a good time.
Absolutely. And I saw like the weird thing as well. Like, I think there was maybe 2 or 3 Chaos Cults players today. I think 2. At the other tournament I went to, there was 2 or 3. Neither of them got first place, by the way. So I think they ended up getting
interesting
second and third.
Did they get sportsmanship?
No, I don't think so. What are you trying to say, Connor?
It wasn't saying anything.
To be fair, I actually, say, complete honesty, I actually did vote for Serkan for most sportsmanship because I really enjoyed the game. And I think that's kind of the thing, is like we're losing track of where we're at, right? So I played a game against Chaos Cults. It was insanely difficult. I got it down to a dice roll. That was a fun game, and I'm happy with that. So, and Serkan's great to play against. So.
When they're that close absolutely. And that tense, I love them.
And that's exactly it. So, and that's kind of why I think it's like it's let's not lose track of that, right? Like let's not forget why we play the game in the first place, because that's really important. And it was really good fun, and I really enjoyed it. So that was pretty epic. I forgot what else you said I was going with on that thread, but yeah, it's been an awesome couple of weekends, loads of tournaments, loads of fun. That's my point I was going to say. Just come back to me. People used to turn up to tournaments like a 64-player tournament or a 32-player tournament, whatever. And statistically, like, you probably weren't going to win anyway. Like I went to Warhammer Fest knowing that I wasn't going to win Warhammer Fest. Sure, I had a shot and I might be up there and in the top 8, whatever. But statistically, it's highly unlikely. And it's really no difference now with Chaos Cults. Like, I guess it's just you're even more or less likely. But for 90% of players that turn up to these events, I don't think it matters. That's not why I think they're there, and I think they have far more fun doing the 2-2, where maybe one of their losses is against Chaos Cults, but they win some other games and have some loads of fun. And then also just imagine the bragging rights if you win, right? Like that's the other thing. Because we're talking to the other guy because he took Chaos Cults, and to be fair, he came second. So he did good. But I sort of joked and said, like, the pressure's really on when you play one of those teams, because if you don't win them all, then everyone sort of goes, well, oh, you didn't win with a really, really strong team. And I joked at the start, and I was like, I'm taking Exaction Squad. People are impressed if I just get a draw. So
people are saying, why didn't you bring Inquisition? That's what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, why didn't you just take the Inquisition? It's like, well, they're fun, and then they got some cool stuff. But yeah, so I think that's a bit of a recap for the last 2 weeks. I know we've been a bit out of the loop because I've been doing the club nights. You've been, being a wuss
on death's door.
On death's door. I mean, you got out of A&E like a few days ago. You're fine. So I think we're going to go into some Patreon priority questions. We have a whole host that we need to get through and answer. That brings us to the end of the episode. Hopefully you found something new or useful while listening, and if you did, throwing us a like would be greatly appreciated. If you want to make sure you don't miss any episodes, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you get notifications as soon as the next one drops. It really is the best way to help a small channel like ours. And if you can't wait and you do want early access, we have a Patreon where you get exclusive access to all our content ahead of time. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. So drop a comment below and we'll get right to you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host Ryan. This has been Turning Point Tactics, and we'll see you next week.